The same slog and monotony of the mundane, the recurrent, predetermined route, the most efficient pathing, the perfected process for minimal disruption at work. It's efficiency and on the rails. And then there's motorcycling. So this all started with work. Not my job itself, but just dealing with all my coworkers that are just always grumpy, mad, sad, angry about some new office policy, God knows what. And I know every workplace has this, that you always have people that are complaining and having issues, and that's draining and miserable and horrible. But it's just so ever present. Everyone I seem to talk to seems to get it twisted. They confuse what life is, or at least what I want my life to be. It's all about metrics and anger about being disrespected at the office, fluff and complaints about things we can't control, articles, certified opinions on controversies we found in our feed this morning, a video tearing down someone's life to satiate the inner tribal cannibal within us all. Just a pit of justified judgment and zero self-reflection. All of that fades away when my key clicks into fine Japanese machinery and my RPMs rise and fall. My tires flatten out to grip as much road as my preload lets them, and the bike just dips in. I have this bad habit of letting in erratic noise when all I should be caring about is this one right here. When I'm finally able to leave and get out and swing a leg over and just blast out of there, I could be having just such a miserable day. Ask me how I know. But like the other day I was having a miserable day and I was just unhappy being there and everything I was doing. Is this like the cool guy stance where you're like, look at my bike, like my bike? So leaving the office and just in a bad mood, just everything, very doom and gloom, unhappy with every aspect of it. People there kind of annoying me getting annoyed that they're able to annoy me, just all that, because I like when people can't affect me too much at work. I think it's nice. I think it's how it should be, and usually everyone's happy. But see, I'm getting caught in it right now. I'm gonna go for a ride after this. But all that to say, the second I get on this thing and I just focus, because it demands things of you. You're not allowed to really think about and complain. I mean, you can, and you can go crazy and ride fast and make mistakes and do things that are silly and dumb. But for the most part, hi. But for the most part, you're locking in, and there's something, it's almost like meditation. And I know what you're saying. You're like, when I hear meditation, I think of being quiet and om and getting detached and not feeling your body anymore. And this kind of does that. Not you are feeling your body, hopefully, or else things have gone awry. But it's a meditative state that you're entering. I get it from nature, or focusing on a new skill, completing a big project, and in spades after a motorcycle ride. Everyone keeps saying riding a motorcycle is therapy, and I think they're right on the money. It's a trance you fall into when you're on the bike. If it wasn't so enjoyable, I would liken it to Stockholm Syndrome. I know that twisting the throttle and dumping wind and adrenaline against your chest like a frickin' madman is part of it. A part that should be minded, but the main alluring siren song is that sweet, delectable call of freedom. You aren't locked into the safety of an automotive shell or beholden to your HR department telling you it's not okay to flick boogers on your most hated coworker. Oh my gosh, she's literally the worst, and if she's gonna act like a booger, she should taste like one. That's all I'm saying. You are unencumbered and thrust into the world with little to no barrier. There's responsibility and stakes that you aren't being chastised like a child. Danger is present, but it always is. It's just counter to society to acknowledge that. Being able to zip by these slack-jawed, text-obsessed, half-baked zombies on the highway and have to contend with not only that, but the weather, correct gear, and your physical and mental ability to be fit to ride is a welcome change. So I have a little problem. I like things done a certain way, and with that comes a responsibility, because you're making choices and those choices have ramifications, and That's another thing that I've talked about at length, but just the responsibility of having a motorcycle, not only like maintenance, obvious things like that, but your, hey, responsible for this dog, huh? Think you're getting away? But you're making all the decisions. You're at the behest of your bad decisions and you profit from your good ones. And I think responsibility is something you're not skirting on a motorcycle. You might for a little bit by just getting lucky, but not for long. It becomes ritualistic, gearing up and entering the proper headspace, locking in, as the kids say. Even taking it a step further beyond some Pavlovian, the helmet goes on and your body knows what's happening. It's a headspace you want to cultivate and a moment to be focused in time. I know we've all been told about the stresses of life fading away as you pull back the throttle and that magical moment as you crest above 90 miles per hour. You've heard it all. But beyond that, which I think there is, a degree of truth to that, but it's also training. Practicing being alert, enforcing focused effort, and living with discomfort, which is not very common these days. When everything being served to you is about becoming more sedated and streamlined, motorcycling is a stark reminder to be alive and adapting. From road debris to distracted drivers, you cannot afford to stay complacent in your decision making. And it's not something you can rewind. I know there's this ongoing trend about taking time to be bored and essentially simulating some level of hardship. And that's popular because a lot of people have really good lives. And I know people obviously don't, whatever. But majority of people in the US have a pretty good life. And with that comes boredom and like these weird superficial digital spaces that you think mean something. I say this as someone fully aware that like I like Discord, I like hopping on with my friends, playing some games. Like there's things that I partake in that I know are like antithetical to what I'm saying. But with all these things that we're trying these days, all these goals that we're setting, the things where people are like, oh, I want to be, like an influencer or something, or just everything is online. And, it's really hot today and I'm losing track of what I'm trying to say in my mind. But I think the brunt of what I'm trying to get at here is that everything is pursuant of easier, streamlining, making your life easier. Buy this product, it'll fix your life. And nothing is about process and improving anymore. And I know there's like corners, where like it's like some dude on YouTube just being like, do it now. But just, I'm saying in like a cultural sense and in what you're being served product wise, everything is about easier. And this is about demanding better. Listen, the reality of me complaining about this online is not lost on me. But this is also turning into a journal entry more than anything. Motorcycling perks me up. It wakes me up on days I can barely fight off my heavy eyelids. And that's the power of it for me. When everything is a simulated downward trend, motorcycles remind us to keep moving. To swerve, but not stop. Yeah, I'm pretty much a modern philosopher. Pretty cool. No, but I think they're dope. And they're a glitch in the matrix. And they make me happy. And I know they make a lot of other people happy. And I'm just continually amazed at how much life and wonder you can get out of them. My dog is so warm. Anyways, have a good day. Bye.